Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
On free, everyone. We love you, Leeds. It wasn't really free, was it? Leeds. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my favourite time of the week. I don't know if it's yours, but welcome back to the latest episode of Late Night Leeds. Yes, I can't wait till we get proper into the season. We have all your little edits and that.
Disappointed. I've put my shirt on that. I've got my thumbnail as. You guys, come on, get with it. Get with it.
My one's a pink jumper, and I'm sweating enough just sitting here anyway. Got a fan set up over there. I cannot put any more clothes on. I'm naked from the waist down already.
Honestly, it's ridiculous this heat in it, you know, that whole Peter Kay thing. I like it warm, but I don't like it this. It's got to that point where I'm just miserable and whiny little bitch today, really. It's just ludicrous, mate. It's not good at all. And to make matters worse, the missus decided to we're babysitting the niece's daughter today. So Paisley, I think she's 6 months old. So yeah, I've been on tender hooks all night because we've got a baby in the house and we've got Jonah next door. And I guarantee the baby's going to cry at middle at night. Our Jonah's going to wake up at 1 o'clock and think it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and he's going to be wild. So my son's going to be driving around singing "Stand By Me" on a scooter at 1:30 in the morning. So this show needs to go well to.
Well, at least your dog didn't jump out the window and go to a chip shop. At least that didn't happen.
Oh no, that didn't happen either, mate. Oh my god, that was the scariest moment of my life, because we've been out about 4 hours and we didn't know how long the dog had been out. Our last left the window open, dog's out, and yeah, she'd gone to local Chippy and been getting fed, so she won't do that again, will she? If she sees an opportunity. Nice one, Mr. Chippy.
If my dog ever got out, it'd just go straight to the local pub. It knows exactly where that is.
Yeah, it knows that. Yeah, love that. Anyway, Sean, how are you doing, mate? How you been? You had a good week?
I have actually. It's been all right, hasn't it? Done a few videos. Not a lot to talk about. It sort of fizzled out a little bit, isn't it? There was a bit of excitement, obviously, about the Longstaff, and then that sort of died a death a little bit. But yeah, it's been all right. Not a bad week, and it always helps when the weather's nice.
Yeah.
Is it nice? Yeah. Is it
too nice? We shouldn't moan, should we? Really?
No, we shouldn't. Would you agree, Adam? It's probably been the best. Probably the best summer we've had since COVID. It feels it, doesn't it? Feels like the best continuous days.
Yeah, it's not been a lot of rain, is there? It's been pretty hot, pretty sunny, and really nice. Yeah, it's been good. I've had a good week too. Did my first video. Well, my first video on your channel, Matty. That went nicely. Really, I can't watch it back. I'm so weird. I can't. I was watching it. I was like, I can't. I'm just gonna have to send this to you. You're gonna have to tell me I'm not watching that back. I can't. I like put the faces I pulled, my movements. I'm like, I'm so ADHD. It's painful.
You're very self-critical, Adam. Is that what it is?
Well, mate, I just can't do it. I just can't watch it. I don't know what that guy's doing. That can't be me. That's a right weird guy.
I actually talk like that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
We're all same. We're all same.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. It's been a good week, and I'd like to just say congratulations, Mr. Wilkowhites, on hitting 500 subs. It's been a slog, but you've done really well throughout. Yeah. But the last couple of weeks, or last maybe month or so, you've really took an upturn in fortunes.
Since I got like 300 and then 400, then the 500 came really quick after the 400. So it's all on the videos, isn't it? But that's really good. Yeah, I'm glad.
Hard work, a lot of hard work goes into it, a lot of research, a lot of dedication, mate, to get it there. So I'm buzzing for you because you were stuck on 170, 180 for forever.
Yeah, and you know yourself, Matty, as much as we try and say it's not about numbers, it's always nice to see them numbers going up slightly and slowly, just just to show that you're doing something right.
100%. And you definitely are, mate. Some of your videos have smashed bloody numbers out of water. People have thousands. Do you know, myself, a couple of thousand, and your videos have absolutely trumped some of mine recently. So it goes to show you your content is hitting the right places. So I'm made up for you. You know me, I'm your biggest fan. I have pom-pom shaking for you. I've never refreshed my phone so many times as I have for your videos, buddy. So I'm made up for you, mate. I was saying to Adam, he's got another 2 subs. He's got one with Adam. We're going through it. We're both refreshing his phones. So you'll get no bigger supporters than us, pal. So we're made up for you, mate. Well done.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
So the week of news, it started off, I thought, fairly good. Goodmanson comes in. And then it's sort of died a death again and got very negative. But we'll start with the Goodmanson deal. I know it's old news now, but we do this once a week on a Friday. So Goodmanson signs. Thoughts, boys?
Decent left back, good player, playing high up in the French league, decent side, good pedigree, international, good value, I think. Time will tell on that, but I said it was interesting. I said last week about some of the underlying stats. I think you said the same, Sean. They're not fantastic, are they? But
no.
you actually watch highlights of him. Like, he's not necessarily. I mean, actually, I think he delivers decent balls into the box, and he's a good build-up player. He's really assured on the ball. If you give him the ball in a tight spot, he's going to keep hold of it, and that's really important trying to get up the pitch. He's quick. He's got good recovery. He's very attacking again, which is interesting. I think that sort of plays into the video the other day, and we've discussed as well. But I think he'll prove to be a very good buy. I think.
Yeah.
Exactly the level we should have gone for for the left back spot and the right player for it.
I agree. Sean?
Yeah, I got to agree with that. But it breaking up then?
Yeah, a little bit, mate.
Hello? Okay.
You all right, mate? Go on.
Yeah, no, I've got to agree. Like Mike said there, you look at his stats; they aren't that good, and you think, right. Then you look at the highlight reels, and whoa, yeah, it looks a good player. Really quick on the ball, likes to run with the ball a lot as well. Really drives forward, doesn't he? It looks like a tricky little player. I like what I see. I do. But again, can we do it in the Premier League? We'll see. Do we need another left back, or are we happy with Sam Byram?
No. Just quickly on Goodmanson, Sean. Are you worried that? I mean, if it's a Farker system, he likes to bomb forward. Are you worried we haven't brought in a left back, a bit like a Moreno, who we know can do both very well? Is a little bit more conservative. This Goodmanson looks very forward thinking, but doesn't have the numbers to back that up. Do you get what I mean? Where Firpo at least had the numbers to back it up going forward, but Goodmanson looks very direct, likes to get forward. It's going to leave space in behind. We know what it's like in Premier League with the wingers. Do you think we'd have gone a little bit more reserved on that left edge, knowing what Bogle's going to give on that right side, or does that not concern you? Because I kind of thought we might have played a bit more reserved. That signing makes me think we're going to carry on as we were, potentially.
I think Goodmanson's is slightly better defensively than Firpo was. So I'm not too worried in that sense of it. Again, it depends what formation we play. We're assuming we're going to go 4-2-3-1, aren't we? So in that case, then yes, slightly a bit of a concern. If that's the case, that he's going to be bombing forward more often than not. Yeah. Are we going to be left exposed? But it's up to the other players to fill in the gaps and get, a bit like we did last season, maybe a defensive midfielder dropping in there, covering. It's just got to work all over the pitch. So players like Goodmanson can bomb forward. But no, I'm not concerned. I'm sure they've done their homework. The club know what they're doing, we think. And again, I'd still like one more left back. So I'm not comfortable with it being Goodmanson and Byram as the second option at this minute in time.
Yeah, Adam, obviously going into the Sam Byram news, which we were so shocked about, inside joke. Yeah, I mean, he's signed again. I aren't, you know me, I'm happy about it, and I'm not shocked. But do you see him as it's making the general feel is now his second choice on both sides? Do you think that will change?
Yes, that means, well, it depends where Schmidt fits into it, doesn't it? And where Byram's squad placement ends up, is, I mean, they've kept him for a reason, obviously. I mean, I think Byram obviously left back, right back, and I think if you play three at the back, he could play both those, the right side and left side roles in that as well. I think quite well.
Yeah.
He, I think Schmidt. I don't know where Schmidt fits into it. Schmidt might go still. I don't know if I don't know if you got it, Matty. I sent that squad thing via email earlier, and within that, it's quite interesting looking through that and seeing all the players have got to go out yet, as well as the squad gaps. There's lots of players in there that aren't even fulfilling a role. Greenwood. I mean, where does Schmidt fit into it? Like I said in the video the other day, could Schmidt play as one of the three? I think Schmidt could play as one of the three centre midfielders if we play three centre midfielders. Right or left, up and down the pitch, engine, good enough on the ball, solid. Byram is definitely covered fullbacks. Obviously, I hope he ends up as third choice for each. But that means if it's not going to be Schmidt, which I don't know if any of us really think it can be, I'm not sure. Not necessarily level player, but how Farke feels about him. Then you need a backup left-footed left back. I think we need that regardless.
Me too.
And then you need a backup right back for Bogle as well. Then. And then that's two more fullbacks, two more extra players that will come in, as well as everything else we've got to do, which is an awful lot.
Yeah, I actually prefer Byram at right back when he comes into the team.
Yeah.
Every time I've seen him play at right back, no issues for me at right back. It's the fact it's a left back and he's not left footed.
His levels don't drop though, do they? Even when he plays,
No,
he's decent both sides. But I get what you mean. He's more natural up right, isn't he? Obviously, Sean.
Yeah. I'm just going off the eye test for me. I've always felt I feel more comfortable with him on that right hand side. So yeah, I got to agree. We think we do need another left back, unless he's going to utilise Schmidt.
I don't see it.
I can't see it.
What did he get? 130 minutes, whatever it was last year in a full season.
And you saw what his agent said last week, mate. You know, he said he World Cup year, he needs minutes. That's the most important thing. It's not about money. It's about minutes. Even if he gets offered second choice either side, unless he's an injured at Goodmanson or Bogle, they will play every game, backup game. So the likelihood is he's going to have a similar season to last season. So I think if there's an opportunity to move out, he will move on.
And it's like we were saying, it's the World Cup next year, is it? And that's going to play a big factor, isn't it, in players coming and wanting to leave as well, because they want game time. They want to get into them international squads and make that the final cut. And Schmidt's no different. He's had a taste now, hasn't he, for Switzerland? He wants it. He wants that. He wants the game time now. So I think, I know obviously the training video came out and we saw a lot of the young lads, Greenwood, Joffe, Jabe, all there, but surely they're going to be moved out before the season starts.
There's a lot of hanger-ons. It's not fair on them calling them hanger-ons, obviously, but that's what they are in a Premier League squad now. They're good playing their right. Don't get me wrong. Schmidt and the international one's an interesting one, isn't it? Because he's playing for Switzerland anyway. He's starting. He's done it in two different. He's been picked in two squads and started in both already as a sub in the Championship, getting no minutes. So now as a sub in the Premier League, he's almost better. But the problem with Schmidt, and I don't think anyone sees it. Like you said, Matty, Goodmanson and Bogle are going to be starters, and they're going to be head and shoulders above anyone else, even if we buy us backup left back. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
And Farke isn't massive into rotation anyway. At the best of times, and if the drop off's as big as it looks, he's not going to rotate. He's just going to run with Bogle and left back, and then Schmidt's not going to get a look in, you say. But whether that really does honestly affect his international opportunities, I don't know. His agent, the agents say an awful lot of things, don't they? I mean, he may well want out. He may go to the Championship. He could go to lots of leagues. I think he'll prove to be a pretty decent player, but he might still be 18 months away from being that absolute option in the Premier League. I don't know, because he's a bit of a machine physically, Schmidt. Yeah, he's really good physically. He's quick. He's strong. He's got a great engine. Do you
think he's just struggled to adapt to the English game?
I don't, mate. But you know why I don't think he has.
I know, but maybe Farke's thinking maybe he just give him a bit more time just to adapt to the English game, because he did get a lot more minutes towards the back end of the season. And maybe Farke's thinking, right, now I think you're ready, actually.
I think it's a Farke issue. We've seen a few of these. I think he trusts Schmidt more than he trusts Ramazani towards the end of the season. So maybe it's not a trust issue, but maybe he's just seen something. Maybe it's an effort in training again. Maybe it's just something Farker's just not too sure on. Again, he probably just didn't fully trust him, but he trusted him more than Ramazani.
Yeah.
But what I'll say about Schmidt is it's very difficult as a footballer or anything you do in life to perform at a decent level when you're doing it, when you're getting, your minutes are in, now and again, 10 minutes every 4 weeks or something. And he did that. He actually performed at a decent level. Every time you saw Schmidt, even for 5 or 10 minutes, he went away from games saying he looked all right when he come on. And maybe it's just tired legs at the end of the game and him showing enthusiasm, whatever. But how many times we speak about on this channel or anywhere really that you've got to make the most of any minutes you get given, especially under Farker. It's important. Pirro did it earlier in last season, and he got his just rewards. Schmidt did it. Schmidt definitely did that, but he didn't quite get his rewards in terms of, a start or a bigger chunk of minutes. But I think, Sean, you've seen enough in him in those short parts. A bit like Byram. Byram comes in after not playing for 6 weeks, and he's a standout for the game for me. He's one of the better players. Yeah. We're very lucky that we've got a few players like that. And with Schmidt, he can play in several positions, which is great. But like Adam says, with a World Cup year, with the minutes, does it really matter if you don't play many minutes, playing bits for Leeds United? Will that be enough to still maybe get in squad anyway? Maybe. It's going to be interesting to see. They'll have had that conversation. And if he is second choice, I would suggest that would be okay. Cover.
Yeah,
maybe
I think so. But it's whether he is actually second choice, or Farker finds that Byram's second choice for right back and left back, and then suddenly, and then Farker finds someone else. Bornau goes into right back for a game because we're sitting back, and then Schmidt finds himself fourth choice left back and third choice or fourth choice right back, third choice left back, because that's what Farker sometimes does, of course. And that's fine. It's a bit horse of courses. It's like where Sean was saying, I don't really like Byram at left back, and I agree. But against certain teams, when you can pack the back four and Byram's at left back and tucked to the width of his edge of his box, and just defensively, he's really solid. That can work really well. Like Byram's a really interesting one. I thought people would be quite unhappy with Byram re-signing because people think that's an opportunity to buy someone gone, because people just like getting new things, like I like as well, of course. But actually, people have been quite happy with Byram staying, which is quite nice. But of course, with the caveat of he's displacing the squad. He can't be back up for anything. Like, he's not good enough for that. But defensively, he is. I think he's good enough. I think he's better defensively than Bogle and Firpo was. I think Byram's really top defensively. Really, really good.
Yeah, 100%.
They're obviously building a squad. They're defensively. Schmidt, I think Schmidt may go, but they need to get a proper offer for him, and then they need to cover him. They need to get someone else to get him to cover him in the squad. He's placing it.
So, think he'll go out on loan though?
I hope he goes out on loan rather than we sell him. I don't think we'll get an offer warranting like he's. I think as a prospect of what he could be, I think he could be a really good footballer. I think the club can see that, and the club's been burnt by a couple recently as well, with like Cresswell. So I think they might, if the offer doesn't come in, if they're not getting 12, 15 million, which obviously they're not going to get, they may as well loan him. 3-4 million onto the PSR. It's neither here nor there in the Premier League, really.
Yeah, no, I agree. Just a quick one. We've got 70 people watching, which is great numbers. Thank you so much for that. Please smash a like. Please subscribe to the channel, and please check out Sean Wilkowhites, please, as well. Danny,
sure, you're like closer, further away.
Danny normally puts the links in, but Danny must be sleeping.
Messing with me.
If you want to bang your link in, Sean, at any point, you can do, mate. Danny must be asleep. It's been a warm day. So I want to, this one, who wants to explain this one? Because obviously I don't know much about bleep tests. Only bleep I know, or ping I know, is when microwave pings. But Wilkowhites, I'm fascinated with the bleep test. I know you covered it on one of your videos. In layman's terms, how does it work, pal? Come on, Mr. Fitness. Come on.
The bleep test. Okay, so you have obviously random bleeps at different intervals, and you've got 1 point and another point to run to. And on the bleep, you run to that point, stay until it bleeps again, then you run back, and it bleeps again, and you run back. And the bleeps, so the time between bleeps gets quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker until you find yourself going bleep, bleep, bleep. And then obviously whoever lasts longest wins. Like my boy Pirro did.
Have you ever done a bleep test, Sean? Have you done a bleep test?
I have done a bleep test. I used to be quite good at bleep tests, yeah. Now I'll probably get to about 4 or 5 bleeps.
They'll get to that level, some ridiculous level. Right? If that was right, like 20 odd. I once did 16. I was hoping to become a fireman, And I think the level then was 16 something or 17 something, which was quite tough. And then and I ran it, and then I actually qualified physically, and they didn't let me in because I was mental. So, that's my only bleep test story.
Just I'm starring some comments as well. So if I do skip past some, I'm starring them. So this week, obviously, the probably main sort of news to come out of Leeds has been the fan reaction, really, to the signings or not signings, the quality of the signings, the lack of signings, however you want to sort of wrap it up. But we'll start with touching on Longstaff, because that saga seems to be, I don't know whether we're coming or going with Sean Longstaff. You know what it is? It's a mad one, because there were so many fans saying they weren't asked for him, didn't want him. And then when it didn't happen, a lot of these people were kicking off that it hadn't happened. And I sort of think it's because it is quite a low fee for me. People are saying it's a lot of money for Longstaff. I don't agree. I think it's about right. But then to not get him based over a couple of million potentially, or them turning us down, I feel like at the minute, the media and other fans are sort of looking at Leeds, and I feel like we're the brunt of a few jokes. And if you sort of agree with that, I feel like as a club, and Fark, I don't think he'll give two shits. I think they've got a list of working through it. Everything behind the scenes is probably going as they probably want it, I would suggest, for it all already. But I think as a fan base, we've been laughed at a little bit. How do you feel on the whole sort of transfer issues at the minute, and Longstaff in particular, Adam?
I was out the other day two of the guys were Newcastle fans. So we started chatting about it now as a Leeds fan. And they were saying what a good, solid player he is. He just can't get a look in there because Tonali, Bruno, Joel Linton. And it's fine. He said, and they were surprised they were willing to let him go potentially at that time for 10 plus 2.
Yeah.
I think they might have just rejected the offer. And I said, yeah, I mean, 15 million sounds really reasonable. Yeah, absolutely. And they're fine from their perspective. Doesn't really matter. But I think up to 15 million for a player that's played 180 Premier League games, 27 years old, and is clearly a very good player. He's really good value. But by the way, I'm not sure the club sees like that, because it's not moved forward again, has it? Nothing else has come out since we had that bid rejected. And the same as people have been saying, we had 2 bids rejected before that. So what the hell were we bidding? It is a bit like, what the hell are we playing at? You speak to the player, you sort of agree with that can all work. The agent's fee, the players signing on fee, the wages, a length of contract, that all works. Great. We're now going to go speak to the club. You speak to the club, and they'll say to you, we value him about here. So they'll go, we value him at 15 million. The Leeds go, I know what we'll do. We'll give you 8. They go, no, you're right. But by the way, why has that got to be an official bid as well? Why can't you just speak to them? You go, I think we think about 8. Surely you can sit down around the table and negotiate without doing any official bids. How on earth have they got to 3 official bids? That does scream a bit amateur to me, to be honest. I can't quite see the mindset behind that. So it is a little bit of a concern when you try to lowball a club that obviously has a valuation. Free rejected. Then I don't know how you can go back. Newcastle, if I'm Newcastle, I'm like, lads, just get lost now. We don't really want your money anymore. We'll send someone else, because they will get 15 million from him somewhere else. They just will. And we'd already agreed it. I don't know. I mean, everyone says 2 million is not our money, but just get it done for me. But I can't, unless there's lots going on behind the scenes, but I can't see how it's taken this long for lots to happen. I can't see it being done. I think that's where we stand.
I think you've just said it there. It's not our money, so that's probably why we're obviously saying just throw another couple of million at it. But I think with 49ers as being shrewd businessmen, I don't think they're trying to do it on the cheap. They're trying to get the best deal for the club. I mean, maybe we don't value Longstaff at round about 17 million as Newcastle do.
Do you?
No,
I agree.
No. I think between 12 and 15. Okay, fine. And I think we're just haggling over little bits. And I know what you're saying. Maybe look, we'll go a couple of million more, but I don't know. It's a bit like when you go buy a new car, Adam, and it's like, oh well, I've only got this much to spend. I want it, 13 grand. Well, I can do it for 12.5 grand. All right, well then we'll offer you some free car mats in and stuff like that. And maybe they're just haggling over little bits like that, or maybe I've heard they're going to structure the deal differently.
That might be the point. Yeah,
that might be and Newcastle are just thinking about it. Maybe Newcastle are just waiting to see if anybody else comes in for Longstaff. And then if that's the case, maybe there isn't anybody. I know there's talk about maybe Everton. Maybe there isn't anybody. So Leeds at the minute don't really have to do anything. They don't have to panic and go, oh, shit, right, Everton's putting a bid in. Right, well, we need to then go 15 million. I can see what you're saying. Yeah, look, you know what? Go to 12 plus 2. It's an happy medium between everybody. I'll be fine with that. No problem.
He's not going to kick up a foot. Go.
I won't go up to 17 because we can get stacked for 20.
It's
so
funny.
the miles better player.
You go, I wouldn't go 17. I go, no, you're right. But 2 minutes ago, I was going, you just do 2 million more. Now I'm like, no, 4 million more. That's far too much. Like it's, and you're probably right. It's probably the other bids were probably about the setup of the how much upfront, how much bonuses, rather than necessarily some silly negotiation. But I can't, if Sean Longstaff to us is valued at no more than 12 million. Who is that player in our squad? Where does he fit into our squad? If it's just a negotiation, fine. If we honestly value him at 15, there must be a point where we go, we think we can get him. And when that 10 plus 2 was in for about 24 hours, I think Romano come out and said that's going to be accepted. I think Sky Sports was saying that's likely to be accepted. I think everyone thought that was likely to be accepted. So, we weren't obviously far off. So, anything can change in a day, can't it? They might suddenly go, we've got extra, an offer or whatever.
I think if ultimately we did sign him, I think it'd happen pretty quickly. It'd be a case, we've already had dialogue. Everyone knows everyone. It'll be a case of, right, let's go, push button. It'll happen pretty quick. I think out of nowhere is how I'm sort of thinking, but it wouldn't surprise me if we moved on. But Mark Rocker, Tyler Adams, how much did we pay for these kind of players last time? 10, more than that.
10 and...
Well, Tyler Adams, more than that.
10 was Rocker. Adams...
2020?
No, I'm 20's in my head, but
is that not
maybe it's 15? Because we were supposed to get Mo Kamara. We linked Mo Kamara all summer, and then we didn't go for him. We got Tyler Adams instead. But do you know what? That is the problem. I think that's a lot of people's problem about him maybe even realising it. You're buying a Scandinavian fullback for 10 million, and then you're trying to buy lots of players for like 10, 12 million, a couple of centre backs, your Llorentes, be old Bornau's. That's the problem. We're building a similar sort of squad. When you come up, you've got to really push it. And I think we will do this, by the way, still as well. You've got to buy those 20, 25 million, 30 million players. You've got to buy probably 3 of those. 20, yeah, that 20 million does ring a bell completely. That's what I thought. It can't be 20 million.
22, yeah.
What it is, I think it just goes to show, how much work the squad needed. And I think we came up with a very good squad. But when you think, right, a few weeks back, before we started signing players, at season ends, we get told, don't we, that we're looking at around 150 million to spend. That sounds phenomenal, right? But then we also said we probably need 8 new players.
Yeah.
8 into 150 is less than £20 million a player.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you look at the actual math, you get carried away. We've just been promoted. We've kept Daniel Farker. We've gone through all those shenanigans. But when you actually sit down and think about it, that doesn't go very far. That does mean if you're going to spend 2 or 3 at 30 plus. What is going on here? Hold on, lads.
What's got a party going on?
Kids' phone, man. On pop-ups. Oh my god. This is our Jonah. Sorry, everybody. I've got tablets galore here, honestly. One sec. Honestly.
If you look, I've lost what I'm going to say then. Yeah, but we've got 4 players in for 30 million anyway.
Can't look how many.
Haven't we? Yeah. We've only spent 30 million. So
that kid, man, honestly.
So we've got another 90 to spend on 4 players.
Yeah.
Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah. Well, look at it, mate. Like I say, if you spend, 25, 30 million on 3 players, you're going to have to spend 4 or 5 players have to be about 10 to $15 million, if not less. A couple of frees in there, a couple on loan. It's one of them, mate, where it's probably where we have to be when you look at it. 150 sounds loads. 150 is brilliant if you only need to bring 2 or 3 in. But the fact we probably needed in between 6 and 8, how do I say that? Between 6 and 8, just say 7, Dickon. But it's one of them where really, the math doesn't math really, and it would always going to probably look this way.
The thing is, it was about starters. Like we were always going to get back up to like 5-6 million, and that's what we're born now. And the Metcha, it's fine. Like it was the left back, the centre back, the centre midfielder, which I think some people think we didn't. Some people said we didn't need a centre back either, which I think we definitely did. We had to, as I said at the start of the time, we had to buy our best left back, which I think we've done. Centre back, sorry, centre back, left back, centre midfielder, attacking midfielder, forward. That's six. Into the starting lineup. 6 into the starting lineup. That's like, but I think they are all needed. So far, we've got 2. So, by the way, the whole 150 million thing, because in football, it doesn't come down to cash flow really, because you set up deals how you set them up and when you pay clubs. It's all about PSR. Like Sunderland spending big because they got rid of Bellingham. It all goes straight on the bottom line, and then they get a player in for 20 million. Over a 5-year contract, it costs 4 million a year plus the signing on fee plus the wages, whatever that is. So it might cost 7-8 million a year, whatever. So Bellingham can play for 4 of those players in the first year alone. And of course, as a club, you can take a risk and go, well, even if we went down, Diarra is worth 40 million, so we'll be fine. We can sell him off, blah blah blah. I don't think it's about contracts and relegation release clause, anything like that. I don't feel like. But as a club, the 150 million is neither here nor there. Like that's just pie in the sky. People picking numbers. No one really knows. As far as I know, when I speak to a person that I know that speaks to the club, the people he spoke to have no idea how PSR even works. No, he's not speaking to the accounts time. Don't get me wrong, but that's how. And they're the people. Information comes from the club. So these people going, oh, this, that, and the other. If we sell Nonto for 30 million tomorrow, straight away 20 million away, it goes on the bottom line. You can buy 2 or 3 to 5 20 million pound players, and they get paid for about 18 months by Nonto alone in PSR. Money. Whatever it is, there wasn't exact numbers there. So this 150 million is neither here nor there really in the grand scheme. But I'm not worried about cash. They can get cash. Yeah, they can from anywhere. People said about the ground the other day. The ground's nothing to it. It doesn't go on PSR. It goes into your account. It doesn't go on PSR though. And they'll cash for that. They'll just get cash for that. They'll get sponsors. They'll get investment. They'll get everyone who's put money into the club. That's no problem.
Yeah, that's a separate pot of money, isn't it?
Yeah, completely.
That definitely is. But it's like Duncan said there. There's players also hopefully gonna leave and be sold, so there's profit on them, which will obviously go to new signings. So,
do you
like
think
I said, that 30 there that we've got could be made back by the players that are going to be leaving, hopefully.
Mate, I presume you didn't get the email. Well, you got it. I know you got it. I presume you didn't do anything with it.
What email? Oh. I got a thumbnail. Well, there's something else you sent me. I'm very unfair.
Yeah, I'll send you something later on. Yeah.
What? Did you put a lot of work into it? Do I need to have a look at it?
Yeah, lots of work.
Right. Well, you can keep talking, then I'll find it.
Yeah, it's the squad one.
It's quite, even this 10-minute thing, run through it and say he's got to go, need to fill that spot. It's quite an interesting thing to run through.
It'd be great to get that on screen, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it? I mean, imagine we got that on screen.
Mate, it's going to take
so I were looking this afternoon, and we would obviously talk about Sunderland and their transfers. And you look at their transfers, and you probably looked at them as well. How much they've overpaid for every player they've brought in, just about. Even Enzo Lafay, from what his value is to what they've paid,
mate,
it's a lot, and it's not. And when you look at the Leeds United transfers, there's a bit of a trend now. Leeds are willing to go over slightly, but you're only looking at like 4 or 5 million over the market value, where Sunderland were obviously willing to go 10, 15 million over market value. So again, as Sunderland shot the load a little bit too quick. They've thrown all the cash at these players.
Potentially.
Oh, yeah, this is it.
Look at that. Get in. That worked quicker than I thought.
You only just seen that?
Yeah, I've not even looked at it, mate. I've been at the pub. I've had a bit of content with plus all the kids, and then my dog escaped. So it's been a hectic few hours, to be fair to me. Right, Adam, you go talk through it, mate, and tell when you want me to go next, pal.
Well, it's just literally reeling through goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, attacking midfielders, and strikers. So I started looking into it earlier. I started looking into. We were discussing in the group one week, and I was just looking into who's bought who. And I know Sean, you've done some numbers on that in terms of who people bought. And then I looked at Burnley. There's about 15 names on the list because they've had to take 5 from the Championship already. They're looking at this. They've got loads of loans returning. You start looking at players going out. You start listening to Furpos have gone out for Leeds United. Harrison's back. everything else. So I got bored of that quite quickly. I thought, actually, there's no real context to any of this unless you do it all. And it's an awful lot of information. And it's an awful lot about information about players that some people, lots of people, and most of us hadn't heard of either and can't say, oh, he'll do this or he'll do that. So anyway, so then I started going into our squad, and I thought this is interesting. So, who's in the squad now? Who's got to go? We don't have to go into great detail, and who needs. So we need a new goalkeeper. That's a given for all of us, right? Like new
100%.
goalkeeper, and Melié's going to go. That is, and I think that's a straight swap. You just massively upgrade on Melié, get a new number one, whoever that is. And as we've discussed the other weeks, that can be a hell of a lot of goalkeepers, and upgrade quite considerably. So I think that goalkeeper's quite an easy one. That's a straight swapping out, numbers right. Defense is probably pretty much settled. Do you want to talk for it, Sean? Rather than talk for anything. Do you want to or not?
I think it is, and I think only one for me would be another left back. I think I'm quite comfortable. The right hand side, the right backs looks fine to me. Again, I said Sam Byram. I'd rather have him at right back or Schmidt. I think Schmidt's been fine for me when I've seen him at right back as cover for Bogle. But again, it's depending whether he wants to stick around.
I would assume, lads, we will lose a little bit of that centre half depth.
We'll lose Bio.
I've just got that feeling something will happen with Strauch. I'm hoping I'm wrong because I feel we need the four we've got. It does worry me with Strauch. It does worry me.
I agree. It might happen because PSR might go if we can get 20 odd minutes. Depends on if a bid comes. Everyone's got a price for every club. You see it at the moment. Forest selling Alanga. Alanga is brilliant for them. 50 million comes in. Gibbs White. That was the release fee, wasn't it? 60 million went to Spurs. Yeah. So everyone's got a price. Everyone seems to have a release clause in every club except your massive clubs. Four basically, not massive clubs. These are massive. But everyone seems to have release clauses. So if Strauch, but that's. I don't think anyone's going to pay the money that warrants selling him. So I think it's got to be 20 plus.
I think 20. I think if 20 come in, he'd probably go. But I think you're talking that if someone offered 12, 13, 40 million, they're going to get left out building. So I agree.
Silly money for him to go because I think that's a settled back. I think the centre backs are sorted, and that's.
I think in terms of a newly promoted side, lads, it's a hell of a good depth for your centre halves. It's really good. That's what worries me, that you're going to have potentially two sat out. And like I always say, sat on the bench is great. We want depth as fans. We need a strong bench. But chances are they're not going to get many minutes if there's no injuries. So that does bug me and bother me with Farker. We know that he doesn't trust and rotate a squad that much. But you shouldn't rotate your defence anyway if things are going well. I think it's going to go well. We'll have to see. But I do think Strauch's second fiddle now. And if there's no injuries, Strauch, he may be down in those couple of 100 minutes for the season, which sounds ridiculous right now, but it could happen. But that will be in his mind. He'll know that.
Fark has his favourites. Fark's favourites. There wasn't a lot between Strauch and Rodon. He really likes both of them. It would surprise me, but I could see Fark doing Bijol Strauch. I could see Fark starting with Rodon Strauch centre back because he's that sort of guy. Isn't he? He did it with Snacker last year. He wanted Snacker for years. Gruev and Ampadu started in centre midfield. Because they were the incumbents, they were the guys there. We were doing okay in games, so that was a start. Tanaka only came in when one of them got injured, both of them got injured, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's crazy. Bijol, the value, the experience. He's up. He will be our best centre back. There's no about that. I'm excited about Bornau as well. I think he adds great depth to this. Like,
it's probably underrated signing. Adam, it's going to be underrated signing.
It's a great sign for backup. Yeah, for a backup, it's fantastic. And I'm really happy we've done it because it'd be so easy if we hadn't got Bornau. We've gone the Bio's fourth choice. That's about okay. We might have said we would like another centre back. We wouldn't really have pushed it, but we've actually just done it. Let's not now sell Strauch. Hopefully, as you say, it was about offers coming in really rather than anything else. Let's not sell Strauch and actually go. This list looks pretty strong. The Bio can go on loan. I'd like another left back, and then Byram and Schmidt fight out for cover on both sides, and then it's fine. I think it's good depth there, but that makes sense because the three guys in yellow there are the ones we bought in and spend money on.
Yeah, that's fair, mate. Let's move on to midfield. Ethan Ampadu, Darko JB, who will go out on loan. Crew will go out on loan. Tanaka. Where's what's his face?
Am I missing someone?
The Bulgarian.
No, he's there. Gruev's there.
He's the one, the one with his.
It's covered by the slide there. I thought
the one with Gruev's face and his name. That's
no, I had someone blocking that, mate. I thought it's a Crew. Yeah, I had slide 3 blocking it that you can't see because I'm in charge of it.
Sorry.
You're looking for Rockwell then, weren't you? That's the one you were looking for.
Nice,
Bulgarian.
I forgot his name. I couldn't remember his name, but I thought it's a Crew, mate. But I couldn't see because it was blocked. Gruev for me will go. JB will go. That's just obviously my opinion on it. Tanaka and Ampadu, I think, start the season, which sounds wild because I'm hoping we sign some players who are different gravy. But I've got a feeling it's going to be a little bit like the centre half department where we have 4 into 2, but that may play as a 3. It's similar, isn't it? You think of that centre mid. You did a video for a week, Adam, saying they might play 3 in midfield. So that'd be 4 players into 3. The defence, we've also discussed the chance of playing 3 centre halves. That'd be 4 into 3. And maybe that's why they're going to stack up in those positions where I think 4 is really good depth for us as fans, but it's probably a little bit too much for that 4th choice to get minutes. But maybe we're thinking of playing a couple of different systems, which means we need, if we're going to play 3 at back, we need 4. If we're going to play 3 midfielding games, we need 4. You can't get away with just having 3, can you, just in case? So maybe that's, the reason why we're really stockpiling in those positions, and it makes us solid in middle at park, and it gives us so many more options for flexibility. So,
of course, if you're playing 3 in midfield or 3 centre backs, you really need 6.
I was thinking 5.
Yeah, 5's a minimum, isn't it? That's the thing.
Five's a good number for 3 in the midfield.
You're about adjusting the system, mate, and playing 2 regularly, and sometimes playing 3, aren't you? You're not saying if you play,
you won't be regular.
3, you need at least 5. You need 5 options.
It'll be odd game, I think. Odd game.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can see it. Because I can't see necessarily the attacking midfielder. I can't see a 10 coming in necessarily. I can see attacking midfielder, sorry. But it's if JB's off, obviously, and then Gruev will hang around, obviously, until we get 1 more or we get 2 more in. Now, Gruev, if you got 5 and Gruev's your 5th, and you play a 3 midfield, that's okay. That's probably a bit light, unless Schmidt can play there. Maybe it's too much to ask. I don't know. But I mean, if Fark's come out in the press and said, "Now, Ampadu and Tanaka, I've got full faith in. That's going to be my starting 2, and we bought a decent backup," I wouldn't be completely against that. But that's not the plan, is it? That's not going to be the plan. They're going to buy a starter.
Yeah, I agree. Sean, want to add before I move on to the forward players?
I think Gruev stays.
Yeah.
I
think again, is that offer, isn't it? Money.
Yeah, money, and I think Farke likes him. It's extra depth to the squad.
If we get 2 midfielders in, he goes, doesn't it? Which you'd agree with. If we get 2 more in, he goes.
Probably.
I think we need 5. I think we'll have 5.
There's absolutely no chance. I know what you're saying. If we play 3 in midfield, but I still don't think, even if we played 3 in midfield and we had 5, I still don't think we'll ever get any minutes. I'm saying that as if we sign Longstaff, if we sign Stack and Gruev what 5th choice, just say that's probably what we were pushing for this week. Might not happen, we might not get either. But if that's sort of the Prem quality we're getting and the actual just quality of the player in Stack, who would be probably our best midfielder, let's be fair, right? He'd be right up there, probably past Tanaka. I would assume, after what I've read and seen of him, Gruev wouldn't get any minutes for me. So I think Gruev, Schmidt, with them both being internationals as well, have to really think about their future come the end of the season in terms of minutes this season. So that's why I think it plays into with Gruev. And he would know he would be 5th choice. He will know he's 4th choice at best, So I think that plays into it.
But would you be happy with a JB out, Stack in? Would you be happy with that 4 then?
JB out, Stack.
Yeah. Yes.
No, I wouldn't, because, and bearing in mind I'm a massive Gruev fan, but if I'm honest, I don't want Gruev. No, I know. Gruev and Byram, I'm always one for underdog, mate. I love underdog. I always have done. And he got some stick, and it proved a lot of people wrong as Gruev. But I just think I don't think he'll be good enough for Prem. I don't think he's strong enough. I think he's a nice, tidy player when we've got the ball. I think in games where we haven't got the ball as much, he can't cover ground that quick. I genuinely think in the Prem he'll get sort of chewed up and spat out. And I'm a big Gruev fan. I don't know what you think of that, Adam. You're a lot more technical minded than I am when it comes to football.
I can see that. I think there is an argument in that. I mean, but if it's a Stack Ampadu Snacker into 2 and then Gruev 4th choice, I'm okay with that as well. I think we're seeing, how it takes a while to get on with these transfers. I know it's all back, last 2 weeks of transfer windows, lots going to start happening, 3 weeks, whatever it is, 6-7 weeks left still. Long time left, obviously. But yeah, I mean, things will start speeding up. But Gruev 4th choice and 4. I'm okay with that. I think.
What if it were a Longstaff then for JB?
Be even worse. That'd be worse.
That'd be worse, wouldn't it?
Yes, yeah, because Longstaff hasn't played in a 2 in midfield for a long time. And as a two midfield, there's a lot expected of you on the ball in tight spots. And I'm not
So has
sure
Longstaff played in a 3 normally?
Yeah,
he does. Yeah, he does.
Well, there we go as well.
That is the thing. That was my thing really. Longstaff playing a 3, and he's a box to box. He's not a but I think if we play 2, they're going to be 2 out and out DMs. They're not going to get beyond the ball ever. And I don't think Longstaff suits that. I don't think he fits that.
No.
He's going to be receiving the 2 DMs are going to receive the ball in tight spots quite a lot, and that's not Longstaff's game. It's just not. He's more off the ball, run around, disrupt, get up and down the pitch. Great engine, good player, great experience, all those sorts of things. But he's not a 2 DM guy for me at all. And I don't care. I know a lot of people go, yeah, he carries it, but he's not that great carrier to football. Let's not get too carried away with that. He's not an amazing dribbler. No one goes, you ask any Newcastle fan, what's top 5 of Longstaff? No one goes dribbler. No one. No one goes, oh, he's great running with a ball. No one.
Yeah, no. Let's move on. But yeah, I do like Gruev. I just think at Prem, I mean, maybe a little bit hasty then. As 4th choice, mate, he probably ain't going to get much game time. He's probably all right. But yeah, I've had it in my head this week. You see, we're going to sign 2 central midfielders. We're going to sign Stack and another. It doesn't have
that was my whole video, wasn't it?
Yeah, Stack is the one I'd really like, and then another, which then for me would allow Gruev to move on. But yeah, moving on to the attacking midfielders. I've seen your private chat, Sean. I don't know how to do it, so let's just suck it up. I'll stop. I don't like doing out midstream. That's going to potentially just fucking turn it off. So no, just stop startling me. But yeah, attacking midfielders. This is an interesting one because I can see Brendan Aronson and Jack Harrison.
There's a lot of players there, isn't there? There's a lot of players there.
A lot of players that aren't going to get many minutes as well, if any. Hopefully, Harrison, Geldart, and Greenwood won't touch grass. Although, do you think they'll play minutes against Manchester United in a week's time? Probably. I think Jack Harrison might do, which will really piss some people off. But there's some work to be done when looking at that. There's some work to be done at that top end of pitch, lads.
Well, even the Metches I've dropped into attacking midfield at the moment. Yeah, but I don't know necessarily. I think he'll end up being one of the strikers. I think he's an option on the wing as well. But or maybe even in the FARC 10. But I don't. That's very much a second striker. I can't see that. I can't see that in Premier League at any given time except the last 5 minutes. You're looking at even if we can carry on playing attacking right wing, left wing attacking midfielder. You're looking at you only need 6 as a maximum for that, really. And there's 8 names there. So straight away, Gelhard and Greenwood go to the Championship, I'm sure. Yeah. And then you go down to 6 names, and then probably it's Harrison out, 1 coming in. But that's assuming the Metcha. But then you're not left with a 10 there. If he's going to play a 10, we need a 10. If we're going to play a 10, we need 10 and a winger for me.
Yeah,
that's the problem. If we're not going to play a 10, it's fine. Play an attacking fielder. So. Yes, it's a lot. There's a lot of. That's where there's more work than anything, probably. Well, definitely, actually.
There's more outgoings as well than probably.
Yeah, there's a
lot of outgoings there. He just needs tidying up a little bit. You know, there's 3 to go out for me as a minimum. It's going to be interesting.
I think I'd like that star player in there. Once Greenwood's out of there, Joffrey's out of there, maybe Jack Harrison. And I think you're right about Nemecha. Maybe obviously is the 2nd striker at the minute or 3rd, depending.
We
definitely
need something else in there.
You need 2. You really need. If you're going to play with 10, you need 2. Really, you need probably really expensive or loan 10.
Yeah,
James McAtee would be amazing. Don't get me wrong. If you can play a 10, and then you need a left winger for me as well. You still Ramazan and Nonto, really good players, really good footballers, but I think you need your star, a striker and a left winger, 2 star buys for me. I think still.
Yeah, no, I agree. And we spoke, didn't we? I think me and Sean especially, but we spoke about the sort of meltdown. I don't want to go for the tangent here, but the sort of meltdown of some with the players we've brought in and the lack of and all this, right? I think we are one signing of Solomon away. If Solomon was on this list now as a player we'd signed early in window, and that'd be 5 indoor, one of them being Solomon. Bearing in mind, he's not a world-class player, but he's a player we would have loved to sign. We still would like to sign, and he would be that player you're on about now, Sean, on that left side.
Yep.
I think there would be no meltdown at all. If Solomon was on this list now and we had 5 indoor, everybody would be feeling a lot more comfortable. So for me, we're only that one signing off, everyone feeling quite good about things. And that could still happen, Sean.
Yeah.
But I think
how would you feel about a Gus Hamer coming into that?
I don't know, mate.
To be honest, when you see it all in front of you, you drop Gus Hamer in that list for Gelhardt. Suddenly you go, because I say Larger Ramzani could stick on the left side and be a very good left wing in the Premier League. I think he's that good. Same with Nonto. So I'd like to see the players coming in, but actually, if Hamer's in the list, you need that. You definitely need. I've said two, but you definitely need you need a second midfielder that you've got to go spend 30 million on. These tens of, I say, it's very old. Rasmus Christensen, Mark Rocker, lots of £10 million players. You've got to spend £30 million on some players. You've got to. It's 20 even 20 doesn't get you amazing players. 30 is where the difference makers really. Otherwise, don't get me wrong, you can buy players for 5-6 million and they just stick. They're very good players. It works. But we do in this lot. If Hamer comes in for 10 and we bought a £30 million left winger, Greenwood and Harrison go. It's not a bad list of players. I don't think Aronson can. I think, I know both you may think that he come on late. I don't think he'll offer anything at any stage, any football match. Aronson.
Really?
I know we all want this, but are you confident Ramazan is going to get the game time?
No. He should do, but no, not all. You can't guarantee hope, Sean, if he's not playing in Championship. Like, if he hadn't played in Championship and he was playing behind Solomon, there's every chance we improve on Solomon signing if we don't get Solomon.
Now, if we go... Now, this is where shit's going to hit the fan if it happened. Dan James, Willie Nonto on the left, and then you've got Jack Harrison coming on before Largy Ramazani.
Oh, mate.
Can you see a world where that happens under Daniel Farker?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Let's that's getting very negative for my life
for my channel.
This is why I think we do need that one special player in that group there.
Yeah,
we really. I think we need two. I think that list for me, you still need 2 starters to make the difference for me.
Yeah,
if Gellert, Greenwood, and Jack Harrison go, I probably agree. I think Nemecha can play on that left wing. I've seen somewhere.
He can.
He can, but to what end? He's not going to be a tricky winger, but he'll get up and down and he'll be a great runner and he'll arrive in the box sometimes. But, again, he's not really a Fark winger. But I think it'd be a little bit like putting Joseph on the left wing. It'd just be a bit like that. Someone that's quite strong, gets around the pitch, puts himself about. He wouldn't necessarily. It's not going to have any creativity necessarily.
No.
So we're saying 3 out, 2 in, needed in this list still.
Yeah, I think so.
None of us has mentioned Brendan Aronson.
I did.
Yeah, he did.
Just don't know where he's gonna.
I don't know what I think late in games, maybe coming on as a winger, he can't come in centrally. He's just going to get a lot. He's literally going to get picked up and walked off with. Like it's not going to happen.
Thing is as well, lads. We've seen the fall off of Brendan Aronson like twice now. He's played two full seasons for us, and he got flogged. This is just a question to you guys, because I'm not a massive Brendan Aronson fan because I don't think technically he's a footballer. Technically, I don't think he's a footballer. He's just got a good engine on him. I think if he stood there and said there was 20 kick-ups, he'd struggle sometimes. But I like him. I think he's a good kid, and I think last season he brought a lot to what Leeds United, needed. A lot of work, a lot of stuff off the ball, which was needed at times. Sometimes he wanted to pull his head out. But do you think being a bit part player, playing less minutes, you will see a more consistent Brendan Aronson playing at the top of his level because he isn't being flogged? 90 minutes, eventually runs out of steam. Come the second part of the season, he has performances that are turgid, the fan base get on his back. If he's coming on for 20 minutes, does his level stay up here? For him, his level. Adam's pulling some queer faces down there, but does his level stay as high as it can for him? Do you think that would make him a valuable squad member, lads, or do you think he's not at it for any minute? I mean, that's a really good question. I like that.
I think that's a great point. I think it's a great point.
This is why I do it. This is why I'm here. I can see it says Gruev on screen, and I say, Charlie Crew, where's Gruev? Because I'm a little bit dense, but I bring it sometimes. Get thinking about this. Come on.
I feel like you've just brought me round to the idea of Jack Harrison being a
not Jack Harrison, Aronson. This isn't a Jack Harrison chat.
Aronson. Jack Harrison.
Come on, what do you think? Is that a valid point, or do you just think any?
Yeah, being more like an impact sub.
Tommy's back. Hey up, Tommy.
Possibly, yeah. But
I don't know what his impact's going to be, though. I don't know what impact are we looking for here? As I said, I think if he played in soccer age, you wouldn't pick him out as a professional footballer. I think
that's a bit harsh.
Would you have him down as a celebrity? Would you be like, he must
yeah. I don't know who that guy. I don't know who that guy is.
It's a bit like Matty. Matty's great at kick-ups. Like Jack Harrison's got a great first touch.
Oh yeah.
I think you combine Aronson and Matty as a footballer. Oh, that's a player.
Yeah.
Aaronson's running and Matty's touch.
Oh, with my strength, mate, and physicality.
Oh.
Right, moving on anyway, because you get me excited.
Could ever get him back to some sort of level as he was under Bielsa? That's what's sort of back of my mind. Or has too much happened? Has he declined that much?
Harrison?
Harrison
at Everton under Dyche spent a lot of time. He spent a lot of time at 10, sometime at 10, which is never going to work. He started doing that at Leeds as well, under like Garcia and Allardyce and stuff. And then he spent a lot of time on the right wing because all this fad of obviously your Sakas, your Salas cutting in from the right hand side. That was never Harrison's game. Bielsa just understood. You put him in the left wing, you let him run down the line and cross it, and he's really good at that. He's still really good at that. And when Moyes moved him back to the left side at the end of the season, I think Everton fans started seeing it a little bit more as well. Yeah. So there's definitely a footballer in there, of course, and he's a very good footballer, and he's a great system player, all that sort of stuff. I just think there's two. It's like the bleep test the other day. I was so happy when he didn't win it. I thought it's quite sad, isn't it? Like I wanted our own player not to win the bleep test because I just don't like him anymore. He sticks his mum in the front row and she abused it. Like I just get lost.
Philip, 100%, but I'd score more goals.
Would you be more happy if he came out and did an interview and just were totally honest and said how it was? You know, a bit like what Brendan Aronson did. You know, he came out and said, I left, but it was before obviously Farke came in, and I'm back now and I'm going to give 100%. I'm totally committed at getting Leeds United back into Premier League, and he's done it, you know. And I want a bit of that from Jack Harrison. I want to see a bit about what he wants to say, or just be honest and say, I don't want to be here. You know, tell the club and they'll get rid of him. They'll find someone who'll take him.
I think those obviously those discussions are happening. I think it's like when Vobra and Aronson came back, it was very much Farke or the club come out and said, and they came out, didn't they, and said we're staying. This is the plan. I think Farke maybe said it first. So I think maybe a couple of weeks into training, I think they're all going to see. I think they're all seeing how it's going because there's no PSR upside to Harrison. We're not going to get the money for him. I don't think there's no 10 million. I don't think there's a 10 million out there for him. So it's not. So I think they'll just all see how it goes and whether he enjoys playing under Farke and with the team, and whether Farke looks at him and goes, "That's a really useful player to me." I think they wait for. I think we'll hear a lot in 2-3 weeks. I think we'll see a lot. It's about friendlies. I know sometimes just playing someone so someone else hasn't got to play, but I think we'll see quite a lot in that as well.
Right, moving on.
And Harrison's future.
Right then, Patrick Bamford, Joel Pineau, Matteo Joseph, Harry Gray. Bamford, have you seen him? Yes. How jacked, mate? I've just been looking at pictures going, yeah, everyone's jumping how jacked he was. Is it just because it's warm and he's in a vest? I'm sure in 6 weeks, you can't just be cutting up, mate. It'll have been like that 6 weeks ago, mate. Yeah,
he looks all right, mate.
It looks all right, mate. That's what happens when you eat a lot more carbs when you're off season, but it'll have been similar to that 6 weeks ago, lads. But yeah, he looks fairly jacked. He's fit, he's walking, he looks happy. That'll do for me. He doesn't look like a biscuit. It looks like he's actually ready to play, which is brilliant. Be interesting if he is past his injury worries, if he can break into this side. I would have always said no. He's a favourite of Farke's. It will be interesting, but yeah, Joel Pineau, the standout at the minute. a lot of work to do here, boys, for me. Especially Adam, if you're thinking Metcha might play a little bit deeper, we'll have to see. But this has to be, for me, you're on about a winger and a 10. This has to be a big signing for me to come in and and rival Pido.
This has to be our biggest signing. This has to be the most money.
I think so.
If you're buying a player that's going to score the goals to keep you up, it's a lot of money, and there'll be a lot of clubs interested in him and there'll be a lot of, get the goals to keep us up. There'll be a lot of clubs in the Premier League interested in that player because they've scored a lot of goals over the last year or so. So because you've got to buy somewhat proven, haven't you? You can't like a Muniz. I'm amazed. Muniz obviously quite happy coming to us, and he'd be a great signing, brilliant signing, like amazingly good. He'd be perfect. People talking about today, Richarlison, with all the Spurs getting every attacking midfielder or every attacker going at the moment. That Richarlison alone. I mean, you don't want Calvert-Lewin, but sorry, in this list, the problem. By the way, I don't mind keeping Bamford as long as you've got a striker in there that's you're out and out first choice. Every time we have Bamford in the squad, it's because then we have another striker that they fall off slightly, and then Bamford suddenly, in everyone's mind, or lots of people's mind, becomes the best option again. Which I don't mind keeping Bamford as long as he's never the best option in our squad. If Bamford's the best option anytime in this season, then we've got it very wrong. Very, very, very wrong. So I don't mind Bamford staying, but he's a squad option. He should never be anywhere near the best option squad. And
would you have this guy?
Yes. I mean, he's a machine, isn't he? He's just
he'd score goals at Leeds, isn't it?
He's a beast. Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah,
definitely.
I would have him. Sean, anything to say on strikers, mate?
Yeah, we definitely need another one. We need that, and again, he'll be one of the star signings for me.
Someone's not been watching.
Adam put him on the attacking midfielders just because he sort of thought that's where he might play. So he's on the list, just playing off the striker, mate.
He's in the attacking midfielders because that's where he is on FootMob. Actually,
he's on
it is right. Yeah, he's down as a striker in here.
He's down as a striker thing, but actually in FootMob, he's in the list above. But that's probably just because he was above Greenwood. Actually, to be fair, because it'll just list out anyway.
But he has played on left wing, so
yeah.
I mean. Yes, definitely we need a new striker. The club know that. It's going to be one of the main signings for me. Does Joseph stay? It looks like he might be. Harry Gray, how much minutes is he going to get? Patrick Bamford, again, he's looking fit and fresh, but we've been here before. We've been here before with him, and we've said it for a while now. We should have probably moved on a couple of seasons ago. Listen, if he comes back and proves everybody wrong, and I said it again last season, like, fine, I'm not bothered. If he's doing well, Leeds United are doing well. But I can't see it. So definitely need a new striker to complement or obviously fight for that position with Joe Perreault. Probably Nemecha. I still think Joseph probably goes out. Probably on loan.
It's gone very quiet on the exits, hasn't it? But I think that will all ramp up, and they'll happen, and we'll get an influx of quite a lot going at once. But I'm in the headspace at the minute, lads, where I can't find a negative in anything. The only negative for me right now is seeing Jack Harrison in a Leeds training top. Although I knew it would happen, he's got to train, he's under contract, he's got to keep fit, whether to play for Leeds and put his best foot forward or get a move somewhere. It's the only slight negative I've had. I don't feel bad about and I'm not a happy clapper when something's going wrong, and I'm an emotional guy, it affects me in a negative way, and I'll say how I feel. I don't roll no punches, I'm a very honest man. But right now there's nothing for me not to be happy about at all. I'm happy with where we are. I'm happy that we've got 4 new faces in who could play against Manchester United next weekend. It gives them enough time. 4 new signings on first friendly. That doesn't happen very often. There's nothing for me to be too negative about. And I'm excited about kicking off against Everton. I'm excited about going to Dublin. I'm excited about the 3 or 4 we've still got to bring in that I expect will be fairly bigger signings. So the meltdown of some fans, it's fair enough. You sit on whatever side of the fence you sit on, and I understand it to a degree. But are we focusing as certain section of the fan base, lads? Are we focusing too much on what Sunderland have done, right? And we spoke about this, didn't we, earlier? Have Sunderland done incredible business, or have they just been busy, took a few risks on some young kids, spent a bit of money? Which, let's be fair, they had a massive outgoing. a massive outgoing. They had a massive hole in the squad they had to fill. Have they even better Joe Bellingham? We don't even know that yet. You know, are we focusing too much on Sunderland? Maybe Burnley bringing in 9 players, which I think shocked me. I didn't think they brought in any, to be honest. But when you look at the division, are there other teams that are going to be down there who haven't done as much business as even us? So how do you feel on that sort of thing? Because you were saying, weren't you, Sean, when we had a little look earlier at the new wingers they signed yesterday or the day before, are they even better than Ramazani and Nonto? I've looked at the numbers. They haven't pulled up no trees. It's a lot of money on youngsters. Are they even better than Ramazani and Nonto? If we signed Ramazani tomorrow and he had last season, he did season before and he scored at Bernabeu, would we be like waxing lyrical about him? Probably. He's in the squad now. People may have forgot how good some of our players are. Are the players Sunderland have bought better than what we currently had when we got promoted? Is Siddiqui better than Tanaka? Is Diarra better than Ampadu? That might be laughable to some, but are these players better than what we actually got promoted with? What do you reckon?
So we'll touch on midfield. So I've obviously looked at some stats for them, and I can't touch on the Ampadu one because Ampadu played a lot in defence. So I'm ruling out Ampadu. Looking at the stats from last season, and I know obviously Diarra and Siddiqui played in different leagues, but going off the stats, Tanaka's stats are better than both of them. They're better than Diarra's, they're better than Siddiqui's. Per 90. We looked at per 90, didn't we, Adam? We said we'll do it per 90. It sort of get a bit more of a feel. And Tanaka's better than both of them. And it's a bit similar to the wingers. Obviously, Simon, is it Adingra, the left winger? I've compared him to Ramazani. Per 90, again, very similar players. You know, Ramazani, though, he's better at some things like shots per 90, more shots per 90, more successful dribbles, ball recoveries. There's loads of different stats that you can look at. And when you compare it, you think, wow, you know, they've spent how much? You know, they spent 21 million on this Adingra, and he's not that much. I don't say he's any better than Ramazani. You look at Talbi, you know, the 17 million they spent on Talbi, right winger. He ain't that much better than a Willie Nonto.
Is he better than Solomon, which is same sort of money? I would say no.
Well, no. I mean, Talbi is predominantly a right winger. But you've got a Willie Nonto who, you know, value is actually Willie Nonto is actually valued more than Talbi. And we go back to Sunderland spending over. They spent 17 million on that Talbi, who I've never heard of, from Club Brugge. His market value is only 6.4 million, and they spent 17 million on him. It's crazy, and it's crazy numbers for a player who, in my eyes, is not.
Oh, you're all right. Keep going. Keep going. It's live, baby. Keep it rolling.
And that's same for Diarra. They've spent 27 million, up to 30 million on a Diarra. You know, his value was only like 15 million market value, and he's not better than the Tanaka. If you look at it stats wise, he isn't. And I understand. I know. Listen, I'm not saying he's a bad player, Diarra. I liked what I saw against England. But like we've had these conversations, are they better than what we've actually got in the squad currently? It don't look like they are to me. So that's why I'm not that bothered at the minute. I still think we do need new signings and we need better players. But don't rule out the squad that we've already got at this minute in time and the players, because I tell you now, Nonto, Ramazani, even Dan James, they'll all want to prove something this season. So we're quick to write these players off.
I know what you're saying there, John. I understand. Sometimes it's comparing, you know, two separate things. I get that, but the Belgian league, I say Championship's a higher standard than the Belgian league, if I'm honest, straight up. In my opinion, I don't think it's far off. I don't think I'm far wrong with that. But even just the eye test, I don't think it's a ridiculous statement to say Tanaka's better than Siddiqui. I don't think that's ridiculous. I'm not saying, you know. Yeah, I'm not saying Michael
Tanaka
Brown
is a better player than Siddiqui.
I'm not saying Michael Brown and David Prutton are better than Siddiqui. I'm not an absolute tool. Well, I am, but not in this instance. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from with that, mate. But like I say,
you ask Declan Rice who's a better player. He'll say Tanaka.
We said this, didn't we?
You know, like Tanaka's like Spurs fans can't think, who's that guy in midfield for you? Like Tanaka, yeah, I'd love him at Spurs. You know, people are raving over Tanaka. People, Premier League fans expect Tanaka to come in and be a really good Premier League player.
Yeah,
it's only because we've seen him so much and we want shiny new things because we're just humans. Like that, it's like Tanaka and Ampadu were starting centre midfielders. I think that's pretty decent. I mean, there's not a lot of depth there, that's it, but it's pretty decent. Like the thing is with like Diarra, if you sign him, you find, oh, he's amazing against England, this, that, and the other. He's ceiling so high, top end. You ask, but if you don't sign him, you look at Sunderland, and then you get into what people were saying about really last season, really inconsistent, blah blah blah. So you can find fault, and actually, it's just how well he does in the season. There's no guarantee. I think it's even run. Diarra, Siddiqui, Ampadu, Tanaka. Who can do better this season? Adingra is a really good footballer. Like he's a really, really good footballer.
So
I don't think he'll get 10 goals and assists combined this season for Sunderland. Like because he's at Sunderland. He's such a Sunderland love their wingers, love their young players, and he fits in it. And they're carrying on trying to do that mould. But Adingra, they paid a lot of money for him. Brighton don't really sell players for 22 million. They sell them for 50 or nothing. Like they just keeping players and like they build them up and they loan them out. So if you get, I think he's really talented. But he's really talented in terms of being a third or fourth choice winger in a Premier League team. Yeah. He's not, Willy Gnonto is an Italian international. Gary Neville raving about Willy Gnonto being like, he just spoke that game at Ellen Road. I can't remember who was against, but maybe it was at Old Trafford, but he just spoke about Willy Gnonto the whole game, after the game, for the whole week. Monday Night Football was all about, everyone thinking was about Willy Gnonto. Willy Gnonto is a really, really talented footballer. Ramazan is a really talented footballer. If we're buying these lads, buying Willy Gnonto, the Italian international, like we did, you'd be really happy. But, as you say, we shouldn't underplay the ability of our own players. That we Joe Rodon will be a very good Premier League centre-back.
100%. You know what I mean? I'm not, even if we're comparing two there and somebody has an argument that they think Diarra and Siddiqui are better options than what Leeds have got in midfield, I could go along with it being marginal, if anything at best. But then we're looking at
based on what these people saying that are saying it based on what?
Based on the fact they're Sunderland fans, just like we'll sit on fence and be
It's rubbish, isn't it? That's what I mean. They've got to really look into it.
We've got players already there that I think they've had to spend that money to close that gap that was a 24-point gap, right? And we see people spending money and bringing in loads of signings, and it puts people, don't put people at ease. It makes us worried, doesn't it? But you look at our defence. So even if their midfield were marginally better or whatever, I know it's just comparing one team, but it's a current sort of thing we're going through at the minute with a banter and sort of comparing the two. But you look at our defence. They've got Dan Ballard. They've got Luke O'Nien. You look at our centre halves who've just gone through. It's League Two standard to Premier League. It's such a massive gulf. Is that at centre half quality and depth? And I think our central midfielders we had currently in Championship last season are better, if not, than what they had. And even if you look at their team and you go Diarra, Siddiqui start, and that puts Dan Neil and Chris Rigg, I'm a massive fan of Chris Rigg, he's a great talent, on their bench. If we were to sign Stack and Longstaff, these are the calibre of players we're going for. And that would force an Ampadu and a Longstaff on bench, or a Tanaka and a Stack on bench. That's way better than bringing a Dan Neil and a Chris Rigg on. So I just think out of the promoted sides, we'd had the least to do. I know we lost Solomon. That feels a big hole. Solomon's the only one really. Firpo, potentially we've upgraded on, if not maintained. So it's only that Solomon signing that I think we're just that one signing off everyone being at ease and at peace with where we are right now. So that's why I sort of wanted to touch on that. I don't think it's as bad as what people think. They've got loads of shiny new toys, spent a lot of money, but they've still got some serious work to be done. Sunderland still need a keeper. I've been told, they need a keeper. Patterson's not good enough. They need a couple of centre halves. They've got a lot of work to do. They need a striker, and they've spent a lot of money already. It's going to give somewhere, lads, and we've still got those players to get.
They've got less Premier League experienced players in their squad than we have.
Yeah. No,
I know some people don't agree that's a thing, but
yeah,
we're complaining.
I don't want to focus too much on Sunderland, but I just think it's been a major talking point. There's a few Sunderland fans in as well, like usual. With
Exactly. We get hung up on Sunderland, and that seems to be a lot of discussion because the players we're supposed to be bidding on, they get them, etc.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, we've got to get 40 points, same as them. You know, we're playing each other twice. That's all. So actually, we've got in isolation away from them. Great. If we both get 45 and stay up, great. I'd be quite happy. I'd like Sun to stay up. I don't really care about it in comparison to Leeds, obviously, but I'd like them to stay up. I like them as a club, players, etc. I think they're doing good business. But we've both got to find a way to get to 40 points plus to even make any debate. If we both get 35 and get relegated, who cares? You know, like who cares who we bought and who cares whether Ramsey's better than Diarra, whatever it is.
True.
You know, like we're on our own lane. We stay on our own lane. We've got a very good team. They've got a decent side. That's it. You know, like I say, it's about actually it is a points level. If we get to 40 points and go down, I'd be surprised. You know, and some, you know, so I think we've just got to focus on us, of course. And I know that's quite an obvious thing to say, but that is just what it is.
Looking at the players we've signed, you think we're building a squad for the 15th, 16th, or 17th finish?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think we are negotiating on transfers in such a way we're scared. We're a bit worried about going down, which is of course the right thing to do, because you can't overpay it and then be stuck with players you've paid too much money for, and you come unstuck next season in the Championship where you can't get the value back on anyone, and you're miles behind on PSR, and you're a bit fucked basically. Yeah. So you've got to be really careful. Sunderland can be a bit thrown around because they sold Watson and Bellingham for £40 million plus. They all go straight. You know, both young players came through there. I think Bellingham did anyway. Go straight on the bottom line, and you can spend all that offsets PSR for the whole year pretty much, no matter how much you spend. You know, because everything is amortized over the length of the contract, so they're set for the year. And if they think, well, even if we've got 20 million for Diarra at the end of the season, that offsets it anyway, pretty much. You know, even if we take a small loss on it, the Bellingham money offsets the whole lot in every single way, every single facet of it. So you've only got to get lucky with a Siddiqui, then go worth 45 million a season, and they're laughing again. So that's even if they go down, that's the way they're thinking, I'm sure. And they because they sold a couple of players, and that's the thing, we haven't sold anyone. We got and Burnley, by the way, Burnley haven't sold any. Burnley have spent 60 odd million, haven't got a single penny in yet, a single penny. And they've lost their centre back. They've lost Egan Riley.
Want the Archie Gray money on that all for this season though?
Well, yeah, but the problem is it's a 3-year roll in PSR, so it actually last 2 seasons and this season all get rolled together anyway. So it doesn't really make any difference. And if we're losing so much money in the Championship and as I say, and you're allowed to lose more in the Premier League, you'll have. I can't remember it's signed up 30 in the 13 in the Championship and 30 odd in the Premier League allowed to lose a season. So, and we've had 2 years in Championship, 1 this season in Premier League. So you add up the 1 season Premier League, 2 season Championship PSR. Yeah. It's about we sold an awful lot of players last season, but our running costs are so big, and the actual money we make from shirts and stuff is fine, but it doesn't really touch the sides. Season tickets doesn't touch the sides. It's player deals are always 80-90% of wages, transfers. It's all the ins and outs are all players pretty much.
100%. Right.
Unless you're Man U, Real Madrid or whatever and making £1 billion a year. And
there's 135 people in massive numbers again for the show. Please smash a like. I think we're at 70 odd likes. Let's try and get that up to 100 before we call it. That'd be great. Please smash a like. Please subscribe and please check out Wilkowhites. So we can't really have a stream discussing the transfer business and what's going on without touching on the goalkeepers. How are you feeling regarding that? It seems to have gone a little bit quiet again. Is Perry available? Is Milinkovic-Savic going to happen? How do you feel on that? I'd like to know who you'd like out of the ones that have been realistic targets, lads. And who do you think we'll get? Probably none of them. Melia.
I want Milinkovic-Savic. I really like the player. I didn't really know much about him, but until I've looked into him, did really well last season in Italy. Really, really well. Some great stats as well. Obviously, I think he was like one of the second best in the Italian Serie A for save percentage. Penalty saves as well. I can't remember what it was now. Penalty saves, what it
4 in 7.
4 in 7. 4 in 7. Big crazy keeper. That. I like the look of him more than the look of Perry one. At this minute in time, I don't know which way we're going to go. There was talk that it's more likely going to be the look of Perry one, and then obviously Leon have not now been relegated from League Game, but there's still a lot of money. They still owe a lot of money. They're still in debt. They do need to sell. and it's again how far Leeds are going to go financially on these players. I think Savic has a release clause of 21 million euros.
Yeah.
It's nothing that for me. For your new number one, what we're waiting for, let's go get him.
That's the most annoying one, isn't it? Because it's in our hands that you can just
now. Just because we go and put that money down, doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get him. You know, the player might not want the move. He might, you know, look at us. He might want Champions League team. This is why it's going to be so tough for us getting any player at this minute in time, because they're just looking at us as a newly promoted team. I know the Premier League, it all comes with it. You know, every player wants to play in the Premier League, but I think some of these players at the minute may be holding out for better options, as much as I don't like saying that. So this one may get done maybe towards the back end of the transfer window, if that's the one we want. If it's Luca Perry, maybe we can get it in a little bit quicker because of the financial situation that Lyon are in. I don't know what. Yeah,
I think I think Savage was in the Serie A team of the season. Like that goalkeeper,
mate, you know,
that goalkeeper doesn't come to promote his side, even Premier League. I think he'll, in his mind, he'll have better options out there, and he will wait. I think the club. It'd be mad if the club that hasn't spoke to him, and I think that's what he would have said. I presume. I'm just presuming everything. Perry's obviously a very good goalkeeper as well, but he probably feels exactly the same. If someone get him for 20 million, 15 million, he'll probably wait and see. He's only been in Europe for a year, I think, Perry. And ultimately, with the goalkeeper, like we discussed before, I think there'll be 15, 18, 20 options around Europe. We can get at the right price and get the right player. I get a deep, good enough player. Obviously, you say, Sean, if we get Savage, then we've pushed the boat out and we've gone top draw. We've gone as good as we can there, and that's what we should be trying to go for. But I think, like, apparently we did want Nick Pope, and obviously he wants to stay at Newcastle. That's absolutely, you know, whatever. But that sort of player would have worked. I think Savage is better. I think Savage, you know, 6'8" goalkeeper, he just adds so much in terms of just being how tall he is. Let it go how good he actually is.
But it's his. You know, it's most saves in the Serie A last season. He gets down really well for a big goalkeeper.
Yeah, no, he's talented. He's good. He's top draw, and I think the problem with him being top draw, I don't think he's ascertainable for us. I don't think, because he might be towards the end of the window, because no one else may come in for the right money. And obviously everyone can only have one goalkeeper. A lot of Premier League clubs, for example, got their goalkeeper sorted. An awful lot. Awful lot. So, but the value of him is phenomenally good value for the guy that just number one.
It might be
he's one of these players I would pay over the odds for.
Yeah, me too.
I would pay over the edge. I go to 25 million for him, because I think it'd be great for us. I'd really. It
might be a proper grafter. You know, it might just like hard work. So he might come to a newly promoted side for that reason, Adam. You know, put him on price per save. He might make a fortune. Newly promoted side, but no, like you say, you know what it is. You know, they say don't judge a book by its cover. But when you look at him just as a person, you think, yeah, I like that. I like what I see. Just looks like a Viking. Just looks. Yeah. You know, you look at Rodon's face. The amount of time he turns around to Melly and just rolls his eyes as if to say, "What is going on behind me?" You just think he didn't even turn to look at Savage. You know, I think it'll raise everyone's sort of level. It gives me, and I know. Even Leeds fans can admit Peter Schmeichel, an absolute animal in there, top draw. He reminds me of that sort of player, that sort of presence in the box, and that would be phenomenal. And he takes a mean free kick, and he'd probably be our best free kick taker, seeing as how we have. Can you believe he took a free kick, mate? He rattled bar. But like I say, I don't know how good his distribution is. I know he's a big lad, but I think the testing sort of like the temperature, you know, across all streams this last week or so, I would say he's everyone's sort of number one now. And again, a lot of people probably didn't know about him. I don't watch Serie A no more, not like he used to do in the 90s when it was legit the best league in the world at that stage. I don't watch it now, but obviously everything I've seen and read since is to educate yourself when you think someone's potentially coming in. You have to win this game to a level, and I think he just looks phenomenal. I would take him now over Pope, and I wanted Pope from day one, but I would take Savage over Pope now.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Agree.
I don't know if I thought you were going to give me a like over the top reaction there, saying that's ridiculous, but it wasn't that ridiculous, then, was it?
No. We take the number 1 in Serie A over Newcastle's second choice. Just
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I just love Pope that much. I was really buzzing to get Pope, and I thought it might happen. But yeah, it didn't sound ridiculous, really. Did it?
But we got, by the way, that's what I'm about to say. We've got to get some money from Melier somewhere. Can we get Can we get 7 million from him somewhere? Can we?
Do you think if Melier doesn't get sold, lads, we won't invest in a top keeper? Or do you think he would stay as number 1?
No, stay as number 2.
Or to Darlow? If Melier doesn't get offloaded, do we still get someone?
We've got to get a goalkeeper regardless.
Right.
I think if we can't get a fee from Melier, we loan him.
Right.
Yeah, agree. And if we don't get a goalkeeper, then it's going to be Darlow for me in goal, which is, he's not great, but I'd rather have Darlow than Melier in the Premier League.
Absolutely.
100%. He's got to go. He's got to go.
Or we go spend an absolute fortune on rest at squad and everyone's happy. Then we finally buy Sam Johnson or Ryan Kent and stick him in there. But that's another one. Anyways, I've got a few starred ones from earlier. So Skip, I may come across pessimistic, but with our 4 signings so far and a lack of outgoings, I'm not overconfident with our chances this season, but still got until... Yeah, that's the thing. We've still got a lot of time in the window, haven't we? If this were, transfer deadline week, we'd all be a little bit more tetchy, but we've got so much time still left. It's not a panic station. I actually think we've actually started the window okay. He'd like a goalkeeper next, would Michael? I would like it next because he's got a release contract, the one I want. And if we aren't careful, somebody else could trigger it. I think that's a deal we can push the button on and attempt, Adam, just because it's in our hands to actually get the bid accepted, and then it's up to the player. So I'd like us to do that. It's a bit annoying and a bit worrying we haven't done that, because you'd expect, wouldn't you, maybe that the goalkeeper and the striking options has been potentially big money signings. So I am a little concerned we haven't pushed the button on that one, pal.
We're not going to get him for any less, are we?
No,
so
that's it.
Let's just go for it. Yeah.
So,
as I say, I think the conversation must. It's not going to happen. I think, because I think the conversations must have. We've been mad if we haven't had the conversation with him, and he said, I'm waiting for someone, either to go Saudi and earn an absolute fortune, or a Champions League side to come in for me. I think that's what he'll say. I think, and we'll go, okay, fine. And that'll be it. I think that's pre-conversation happened. We're talking about it, but nothing comes out about that sort of stuff until he, definitely moves somewhere else. So we can talk about it, but I just don't think it will happen. I can't see it, because Sarah's number 1 doesn't come. I don't mean number 1 in Serie A. I mean the best goalkeeper in Serie A doesn't come to a promoted club. I just can't see it. I think he'd see it as a step down, regardless of what club it is.
No meltdown from us, Mr. Blackburn.
Totally right there.
Meltdown from us.
Only in the Leeds, but not mentally.
Yeah, no, we're all right. Hope you're well, mate. You'll see this one. Yeah, I want to touch on this one right quick as well. Robbo, look at the players we have lost / about to lose because of Farke. I don't know what it means in terms of who we'd lose now, but there's a question about Farke. What's been going about? Is he attracting the right players? Is it down to Farke why we're not attracting him? Just sort of this is a point I've seen on a lot of chats, and I've had messages about it as well. I aren't concerned at all with the players, as you know. I'm in a good space, but is Farke very limited in his sort of the way he's seen in the game? Will he, we spoke before season, weeks ago about, if he'd have got sacked and they brought in a Mourinho, look at the calibre of play and all that shit people mentioned, obviously there's a level to what you're at. I don't think he's holding club back Farke in terms of transfers. Do you have another take on that, boys?
I think it's a conversation you've got to have, but I think this is a conversation maybe we have at the end of the transfer window. I know there's a few fans think that's what's happening. We'll go back to Sunderland. Sadiq, Diarra, they did go because of the French connection. I think is it Diarra who had links with Sunderland's manager. Yeah. Farke, though, look who he's got links with. Some of the players we've brought in. So
Bundesliga,
in the Bundesliga. And that's why we're probably looking at players from the Bundesliga. That's guaranteed. That's why we are. So there's pros and cons there. I don't know. I'll judge it all at the end of the transfer window. And
seems harsh at the minute to brand him with that, doesn't it? It seems very harsh. How about we say Regis Lebris has had a pull rather than saying Farker doesn't have a pull. Regis Labrie has his own pull. He's managed to get some French-speaking players in. There'll be some sort of connection there. Fair play to him. Fair play.
It's fine, isn't it? No, even if we bid for Zdekin, we both him. Sunderland coming in and offer 20 grand more a week. Oh, I'll go Sunderland.
Exactly.
I wanted to come here because of Labrie. Oh, did you? Okay, that's what I'm saying.
exactly.
I came here for more money, is he? So regardless of what he says, we've never getting the whole picture there. So, Leeds had been accepted. Oh, did they? I think he's telling the truth. Okay, and then go, okay, what did everyone offer as wages, please? Next question, follow-up question. He goes, I'm not saying that. That's ridiculous.
Imagine,
so it's fine. We know what we know, and then we guess the rest. And I'd be amazed. And maybe Labrie did want to go. Maybe he did, but there won't be many players. I don't think that many, because it's not about necessarily a poor manager. You say it's about who manager they may be up against. Bijol comes from a good Udinese side or a good league, and comes and he doesn't mind playing under Farker. Fine. Players from Germany, I think, were more than happy playing under Farker. I think his reputation is quite good. And by the way, anyway, I think players know as well, any manager can leave in 8-10 weeks. They go, I must go there because if the opposite, people go, I must go there because of Farker. They know full well he can also leave in 10 weeks, even if you really want to play under Farker. So I don't think it can be that much of sway either way.
It's got to be bigger than manager.
Like Bielsa, I'm going to play under Bielsa. Great. It's not. You don't worry about a few weeks' time. You go, great, I'll play under Bielsa.
There's certain managers, isn't the Adam, that does have that pull, but I think the people under that, it maybe goes beyond the manager. No,
people under that and levels of club as well, in terms of we've got the turnover of managers and clubs that come up and etc. Like Ipswich shouldn't have been able to sign anyone. No one's saying no one's saying I want to play under Scott Parker anyway, are they? That's for sure.
No, they're not.
Not one person.
Like I say, I think it's very, very harsh to tarnish him with that already. People saying, "Oh, he ain't got a pull." Well, for me, we've signed four decent players, so I'm happy. So if he ain't got a pull, then I don't understand where that's come from. Because, like I say, his contacts in the Bundesliga have got us a few of these over the line, I would suggest, and we've still got 7 weeks left. And I fully expect a decent keeper, a decent 9, and a left winger, stroke 10, if not both. So I think we will tick every box and we'll get there. And to be fair, we've only got so much money you can spend, but I do think it's very harsh to tarnish him with that brush, man. I really do. As Kyle Walker signed for Burnley because how good Scott Parker is, that obviously not. He's joined Burnley because, there's a lot more reason to it. Probably that Wonga, but he's got to say, I'm an old pal of his, old teammate. I love Scott Parker. Load of shite. Yeah. I love the way they play football. What? Anti-football. You love playing anti-football. You like bobbing forward, don't you, Kyle Walker? You won't be able to leave your half, pal. When he said that in an interview, I was like, well, that's shite. It's the money. It's the Wonga. The bit only club willing to put down that money for a 30 bloody 5.
It's the Wonga, and he gets his last season in the Premiership, doesn't he? He gets
exactly.
Before he probably moves to Saudi or whatever.
Exactly. But no, it's been a good stream. It's 121 in now. I would love it, please, if you'd smash a like on. It'd be nice to come off and see 100 likes. I'd really appreciate it. And I know the boys will get them on. But it costs you absolutely nothing.
Click your mouse or phone, whatever it is. Just get on with it.
But yeah, an hour and 32 minutes.
Can you even like it if you're watching on TV?
You can like it, whether you can click like or not, I don't know. You can enjoy it.
You probably can.
I don't know how
you can subscribe and stuff, can't you?
Can you? Can you
on
comment?
The TV?
Yeah.
Have you got a smart TV, or have you got one of them old?
Really smart.
remember what TV? Have you used to play Bamboozled on your TV?
Oh yeah. That
was a nightmare. That try to play Bamboozled on old TV remotes. My God.
Oh,
what's he saying here?
Need to ditch that Sean fella, by the way. Disgusting peacock, nasty stuff.
You said you to me. You're gonna be part. You are part of the peacocks.
He says this. Does Joe Blackburn giving stick?
He's off at Yorkshire Roses, isn't he?
Apparently so, but he sits and does streams in a Peacock's jersey.
Yeah, but he's in our group chat. Spying.
He's in and out. Yeah, he's in and out. You see, depending what score he'll be, he'll see what side he's on during the game. But no, that's fine. But yeah, thank you so much for everyone who's tuned in. There'll be a lot more segments added to it as the weeks go on. The season. When the season starts, and we've got us previews and reviews and a few little games and bits and bobs in there. That we are Leeds signed by the Billy Banksy behind Adam. Maybe the prize for the next table, seeing as how Sean just said we'll let it roll.
I've never sent it.
He's never sent it. We'll see how that goes. But 3 more likes away from 100. But yeah, we'll call it at that. Thank you so much for everyone. Great show, says Ina. Legend for always been here. Take care. What else to say, boys?
No. Thanks for watching.
Next
Bye.
week.
No, piss off. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye bye.